We got to get started because I was just reading last week that the Wall Street Journal said reasons for firing U.S. prosecutors unclear. Let's blow away the fog, huh? Let me start with this. A letter, email from Karl Rove and his team. Actually, it's the first review of Armed Madhouse. Subpoenaed, dated February 7th. It says, that guy is a British reporter. All right, let's get this straight, Mr. Rove. I'm American, you may be un-American. Now, let's get the facts straight. But it says, his investigation has not been picked up by U.S. national media. You know, and he attached a little copy of Armed Madhouse, which you're not reading. He did a PDF of an excerpt. So what's he gloating about? What aren't you reading? What is the reason for the firing of the U.S. prosecutors? Maybe we can clear that up. And it begins here. It begins on the night, it says here, 1:05 a.m. on November 3rd, 2004. These are CNN's balls. You recognize that? You know, no. The little globe things that they put on to show the exit polls. This is from the state of Ohio. Recognize them, Bobby? And it says, this is what people thought they voted for. It says, among males, John Kerry defeated George Bush by 51% to 49%. But among females, George Bush lost to John Kerry by 47% to 53%. Okay, class. What's the third sex that put George over the top? We call them the disappeared. Okay. Residual votes, they call them the vote business. Rejected votes, spoiled votes. Well, how do votes spoil? They put them out, leave them out of their fridge, or no. Whose votes are they? That's the real issue. Okay. So I dug into the dumpster of stinky, spoiled votes with statisticians from Harvard Law School, with statisticians from the U.S. Civil Rights Commission. We made a little pile of the votes spoiled in white majority precincts, and then we made another pile. We got on a ladder and made a pile of the votes taken from the black majority precincts. If you're an African American in the United States, the chance your vote will get rejected, lost, mangled, uncounted, spoiled is 900% higher than if you're a white American. If you're Hispanic, 500% higher than if you're a white voter. And if you're Native American, 2,000% higher than if you are a pale face. Kid you not. Now, votes uncounted. Votes uncounted in Ohio disappeared, 153,237 uncounted votes. Compare that to George Bush's victory. Well, let's talk about New Mexico. We always talk about Ohio. I'll leave that to Bobby, okay? Let's talk about New Mexico, where George Bush defeated John Kerry by 5,900 votes, not counting 30,000 votes. Now, 153,237 were not counted in Ohio. But what about in the United States of America? No one got that one. In the USA, 3,006,380 votes were not counted in the United States for which we stand. Now, you do the arithmetic. Look at New Mexico, 5,900 votes. Victory for George Bush, 30,000 not counted. 900%, let's do the arithmetic. 900% X times plus 500% Y, 2,000 Z. If you got through George Bush's No Child's Behind Left program, then you would know, look at the demographics, at 88%. 88% of the votes cast and not counted in New Mexico were cast in minority precincts. That's typical of the United States. You tell me who won the presidency. Kerry won. Now get over it. Because, see, they're stealing 2008. Now, I'm often asked, are they going to steal 2008? No. They've already stolen it. And I'll explain how. That's in the new edition of Armed Madhouse, The Theft of 2008, because they've already grabbed it. Now, how do I know this? Well, Carl Rove sent me an email. Yeah. You know, the House Judiciary Committee is missing several thousand emails from Rove's office. He used the RNC and the Bush campaign email server, right? And his minions and the Rove bots. Well, anyway, don't worry, Congressman Conyers. I have 500 of them. I do. Okay, now how did I get them? So why would Carl send me an email with his scheme for 2004 and 2008? Well, I know a lot of you think that Rove is an evil genius. Actually, you're only half right. See, he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. With those little soft hands, he was typing away, and his guys, and they're typing away their evil little schemes to their buddies at georgewbush.org. Unfortunately, their web domain is georgewbush.com, and .org is owned by John Wooten. Stand up here, John. I think he's here. And John owns georgewbush.org, and he got 500 of Rove's email, and he sent them to Greg Palast at BBC. Now, wait a minute, guys. This is a personal, confidential email from the Republican National Committee, Mr. Rove. And BBC said, are you going to read his confidential email? And they said, get back to us in 2 days. Yeah. So we went through them, 500. We went through the weirdest 70 of them, because each of those 70 had attached to it something called a caging list. Caging list. Here's another caging list. Carl, here's another. Another caging list. What's a caging list? So they were Excel spreadsheets with names of voters. Okay? Well, all right. So we started plotting them, putting them on maps. Where are these voters? Where do they come from? And while we were doing this, and I kid you not, a 60 Minutes producer came into our offices and said, wow, to figure out what this stuff means, I mean, you'd have to spend hundreds of hours, and you have to make hundreds of phone calls. And our staff was looking at them, and I said, when was the last time you guys slept? 80 hours ago. So I turned to 60 Minutes and said, oh, that's reporting. Don't worry, it won't hurt you. Try it. See, it's from the Yogi Berra School of Reporting. You know, like the 3,006,080 votes that were cast and not counted. You know, they didn't come from Greg Palast, Black